Allow yourself to feel me. Allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to see all the things that we could be.
Sick and goddamn tired of this goddamn dipshit who is our commander-in-chief fucking lying every goddamn time he opens his mouth. What he goddamn did in Russia was so fucked up. What he did in Helsinki with fucking Putin, the goddamn dictator of fucking Russia. Trump, you fucking asshole. We hate you. We fucking hate you. Get it through your goddamn skull that Russia is not our goddamn friend and hasn't been for over 70 goddamn years, you motherfucking asshole. God damn it, Mueller, hurry the fuck up. This is just insane what we're having to go through every goddamn day with this goddamn fucking president that doesn't fucking have a clue what it's about to be an American. You fucking asshole. You have completely divided our country. You have made me cut off friends off and on Facebook because of your goddamn God. I fucking hate you. Ah!
What you waiting for?
When are we going to be put out of our goddamn misery? I mean to tell you, Jesus Christ. He continues to embarrass America. He continues to embarrass America. He continues to isolate us. You motherfucking ass.
Okay, that's enough of that. Wow. How we doing, guys? Sorry about that. Yeah. That was what I woke up to this morning. That video is courtesy of AJ, aka Audrey, who's one of my listeners, and I'm I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a fan of her videos. She's really good at like cutting videos and making them. But yeah. So this woman, man. Ladies and gentlemen, your life coach, Mary Marlowe. There you have it. I mean, okay, look. I got a foul mouth Boston hippie. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm not faulting her for that. But this is clearly an unstable person. I don't understand the appeal of this person. I don't understand how any person who behaves like this has any credibility whatsoever. I'm my mind is blown. So thanks for sharing that, AJ, and I mean, look, everything that first of all, she doesn't even know what the fuck she's talking about. How the fuck are you going to rant and rave about politics when you clearly don't even know anything about the situation that you're yelling about? I mean, I hardly know anything about it. I have not been watching the impeachment hearings. I'm waiting simply to see what happens. Um, because the truth is, none of us really have any control over what's happening. I have my opinions on it, but they're loose opinions because I'm not educated enough to a get into a debate with anyone about what's going on in Washington right now, um, and b uh, I I don't I'm not educated enough to actually have those to feel that strongly about it. And what she's what, I just thought that you guys should see exactly what I saw when I woke up today, and I think it's really 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 funny. Um, I think I think if you consider yourself an educated person, a you should and you want to get your message across about something that you feel passionate about. At the very least, you should educate yourself on what you're talking about. First of all, um, at the very least, you should absolutely educate yourself on what you're talking about. But if you're if you're going on if you're going on your channel and you're a creator who wants to be taken seriously and you want people to listen to you, because this is what's funny to me. What's funny to me is that her whole thing is that she wants justice for Shanann, right? She wants justice for Shanann, which, by the way, I think we can all agree at this point that justice is, well, some of you may disagree. Fair enough. Some of you feel that Nicole Cuss. I'm the one that's buffering, guys. I don't know what it is about this time of day, but for some reason my internet and my computer do not get along very well at this time of day, and I don't think anybody else is using the internet at this time of day here, so I don't know why that's happening. Um, but it's, yeah, Kathy, yeah, she's something else, man. Um, she's definitely something else. Um, and she has hundreds of people, thousands, literally, like literally, it's in the thousands of how many people listen to her and take her seriously. Um, and it's kind of mind blowing. But yeah, I'm still buffering. Are you guys able to hear me right now or not? Yeah, I don't know if you guys are able to hear me or not. I guess not. God, it's frustrating. All right, so I think I'm done buffering now. I don't know why I was buffering. Well, it's still buffering a little bit. Um, well, the thing, Kathy, is my suspicion is that she's on meds, but they're unprescribed, or at the very least, she's misusing them, and she's making her name is Mary Marlowe. um, and she's making herself she's making an ass of herself. She's making her misuse of substances very, very public, and it's clear that she's misusing substances. Nobody. Nobody would go on if I thought her to be the type of person who was um, not vain and felt like, you know what, if I'm going to I, you know what, I have something that's very, very important to say, um, and I don't care. It needs to be said right now, and I'm gonna go on without putting on any makeup, and whatever. Then fine. But what she's doing is she's treating YouTube. What she's doing is she's treating YouTube like a Facebook page by someone who people like you and I normally unfriend or unfollow on Facebook because they get on Facebook and just complain. They get on Facebook or they get on any type of social media outlet and then they just complain, and put all their dirty laundry out there, and then we're just like, oh gosh, this person, what kind of bullshit are they on again today? And what's happening with this woman is sad on so many levels, because she's when you're an addict. Well, I didn't add music, guys. That wasn't music. Doodlebug. That was a video that you've seen her in chat here. She goes by AJ, aka Audrey, and I guess she has like a personal YouTube beef with her, but um, she's really good at making videos, though. She's a lot better at it than Mary Barlow. And what she does is she makes these little videos calling her out on her hypocrisy, which I kind of enjoy. Um, and I really did enjoy this one, in particularly, except for the yelling. I can just imagine what it's like living with a person like this. Um, and she lacks any type of self-awareness. It's clear that she lacks any type of self-awareness. So with it might you guys might think it to be mean that I'm using her as an example, but she's like the anti-Glare. She is a perfect example to me of exactly what it's like to not follow these principles in any way whatsoever. When you have a substance problem and you don't recognize it, and you think that whatever you have to say or do simply because you have a certain amount of people following you or taking you seriously, then you can just behave any way that you want. Um, and and this, if you're a married follower and you see this kind of behavior, and you actually take anything that she has to say seriously about a case that's actually been closed. Oh, thanks, Doodlebug. Yeah, I made that meme. It's been a while since I made a meme, uh, and that I was proud of. But yeah, she, I had to laugh about it, and here we are, just we're laughing at this person, um, and it's funny to a certain degree. It's absolutely hilarious to a certain degree. But yeah, what it looks like to me in that video is that she's on an all-nighter. It's super early in the morning. Uh, who knows what she's doing? but she just all of a sudden felt the need to start yelling and ranting and raving about something that she doesn't even know anything about. Um, I follow politics to a certain degree. I see it. In my opinion, I see it for what it is. And I'm not going to really express my opinions. But what's funny is I commented on this video when AJ posted it, and I thought, I'm not even a Trump supporter, but this video makes me actually want to go out and vote for Trump. Because if these are the kind of people that don't like him, you know, my reason for saying that is if and I'm exaggerating, I'm not going to go out and vote for fucking Trump, but if these are the people, the type of people that dislike him and that are publicly speaking out against him, well, that's a good look for him, dude. And it's not easy for Trump to make himself look good in comparison to the people who are speaking out against him, to be perfectly honest. Because my issues, okay, coming from again, admittedly, coming from a person who's not very well educated in politics, in all fairness, I don't. I see this as a big show, and I'm not. Trump does not appeal to me simply because he seems to behave irrationally. He seems to talk completely out of his ass. But the results matter. The results matter, right? And the fact of the matter is, whether you like it or not, the economy is at an all-time high right now. The stock market is at an all-time high right now. Jobs, employment is at an all-time high right now. So the impression I'm getting is that you've got the Forrest Gump of politics in office right now. So, I mean, it's pretty wild. It's pretty fascinating. But to yell and scream and to use your platform, you know, is, I don't know, man. I think she really needs to get help. And I think that she's, because of her following on YouTube right now, it is her following on YouTube right now is acting as a very, very dangerous enabler. Now, when it comes to addiction, and when it comes to toxic behavior, we all know that the worst thing that could happen, and especially when it comes to somebody with a very large ego, I'm not going to go ahead and call her a narcissist because I'm not a psychologist. I can't diagnose somebody with something because I don't know. I'm not educated enough to be able to do that. But when someone is behaving in this toxic manner and is clearly indulging in self-destructive behavior, the worst thing that this person needs is enabling. And she literally has, you know, a number of enablers in the thousands on this platform. So if you're following Mary Marlowe and you're taking some truth into what she's saying, beware what you're doing. Beware of what you're doing, because she is clearly on a self-destructive path, and there's no way that anything that comes out of her mouth can have any kind of credibility. Whether you agree with it or not, it's coming from a very illogical and very irrational place. And yeah, I agree with you, Annie. Why in the Lord's name would you do a video of yourself doing that? That's crazy to me. I'm gonna look over the chat here just for a minute. This is going to be a short one, guys. I'm not going to be on for too long. I just wanted to share my thoughts on what I saw this morning on YouTube in our community, in our beloved community. Um, hey, Once Upon a Crime in the West. I don't know if you're still on here, but yeah, you fixed your settings. Great. I can actually chat in your in your lives. I'm really excited about that. I love your channel. I'm really excited about doing that. That's awesome. Thanks. Um, and let's see. Casey, what's up? Boston Hippie, Eric G. Um, Audra, Irish, NLB 815. Starset, what is up? Um, yeah. Um, as you guys know, what I'm trying to do here, what I'm really hoping to do at some point is really, I, I want the productive parts of the true crime community to be able to work together and help build a particular credibility for this platform and what it can be used for. Um, and I really want to be able to help people. And this is, but I also, in order to do that, we need to be able to try to weed out the credibility in this community to people who should not have any type of credibility. And Mary Marlowe is clearly somebody who should not have any, or what she says should not hold any water. And it's clearly based on her behavior. You know, if we were comparing one theory from one creator to another creator's theories, if we were creating one creator's theories to another creator's theories, and one of them was acting like that, and the other one was acting like, say, J is for Justice, you know, then I think the choice is clear as to who would hold any credibility. But when you have people acting like this on YouTube, and there's a family out there who's looking for more coverage and more attention to get justice for their family, and then they click on YouTube and they're going to click on the somebody who has the most views and somebody who has the most followers, you know, which she doesn't even nearly have the amount of followers and subscribers that Jay does, but still, you know, you're gonna see this person and then she's gonna get on her channel and she's gonna talk about how, you know, the same thing happening to me that just happened with the buffering happening to her, but she's going to blame it on hackers, and she's going to blame it on a network of people that are trying to shut her up. I mean, that is paranoid crackhead shit. That's, you can't, what are you doing? That's absolute paranoid crackhead shit. And any rational person who's looking for answers, I mean, look at the now, you know what? I'm not going to get into that, but there one of these days I'll probably get into that as an example, but I'm not going to use this video for that. But there's other examples of why that's irresponsible. And then it plays into this community going from being productive to becoming a drama community. And a drama community's fine. It's great. You know, like I don't have anything against soap operas being on TV. I don't have a problem with that at all. But the thing is they're soap operas and they're on TV. People know what they're getting into and know what they're watching. People shouldn't have to click on a channel expecting to get something productive and informative, and then find and only to find people behaving irrationally and acting a fool towards each other. Much less just towards everyone in general and themselves, which is what Mary Marlowe clearly does. I don't know what kind of message she thought she was going to get out there by making that video. I mean, we're talking about somebody who just had to. I'm trying to picture her way of thinking. Right? We're armchair detectives for the most part, give or take. Right? We're little amateur detectives. We like to collect facts and make conclusions based on facts and to try to understand a situation. And how do we do that? We try to imagine in our minds a scenario, right? So I'm imagining the scenario of her deciding to make this video. And what I'm getting is she was in her car, either listening to the radio and the news, which she doesn't strike me as somebody who listens to much news. If I had to guess, based on her personality, I'd say that she was going through her phone while she's driving and looking at Facebook feeds, and then just looking at something that somebody posted on the internet, and then was like, you know what, something needs to be done, and I have this many thousand people listening to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a video, but I've got to really show how angry I am and how upset it makes me. And she made a video where I don't even think that she's actually as angry as she is. I think she's generally angry, but I don't think that she's angry about what she's yelling about in the slightest bit. I don't think she gives a shit, to be perfectly honest. I don't think she gives one iota of a shit about politics at all, or President Trump, or who's president. I don't think she cares. I bet if I asked her right now to name one other Republican candidate in the upcoming 2020 election, she wouldn't be able to tell me. I guarantee it. So I and in the video she's blaming Trump. It's so funny. In the video she says, "You know how many friends I've deleted from my Facebook because of you?" And well, that's you. You did that. President Trump's not responsible for that. He's responsible for a lot of things. He's the president, of course. A lot of things he has to be held accountable for as president. I'm not so sure that the things that he's being accused of are things that he needs to be held accountable for necessarily. That remains to be seen. That's what these hearings are for, is to get to the bottom of that and prove it. So just like anybody else, he's an American citizen who deserves due process. The fairness of due process. So this is I'm just laughing because I seriously don't believe that she gives a shit, because how can you give a shit about something that you don't know anything about? It doesn't make any sense to me. So you can't sit there and say, well, it's because of you that I'm losing friends. No, it's not. Listen, if it turns out, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, right? Let's just say for the sake of argument, because I'm glad this actually brings me to my next point here. Let's just say for the sake of argument, right, that your friends are Trump supporters. Let's say you're a far left-wing liberal, right? And you have a friend or a family member that it turns out, is a Trump supporter, right? Um, and um, and then as a Trump supporter, and I'm not saying that Trump is a racist, but I am saying that I have seen people who their true colors have come out as far as having certain racist points of view, having certain racist views and opinions, and all of a sudden, since Trump has been president, they feel oddly comfortable with expressing their racist views, which I find pretty funny because Trump has yet to say he's a racist openly. But anyway, let's just say that you decided to, let's just say that you decided that you all of a sudden were exposed to your friend or family member's true colors of being a racist, right? What does that have to do with Trump, and how is he to blame for that necessarily? I don't understand that necessarily. I don't get. You're the one who decided to make the choice to delete them from your friends list on Facebook. You did that. Trump didn't do that. Trump didn't go into Facebook and start going, okay, listen, everybody who feels this way about this and everybody who feels that way about this, go ahead and delete them as your friends. They're not your friends. Trust me. I'm telling you, I know everything. I know everything about everything, and delete them from your friends because they're not your friends. They're idiots. I'm the best. They suck. Trump never ever once did any of that shit. Never once did any of that shit. Nobody told you to do anything. You went ahead and did that. You made the decision of whether or not you wanted certain people in your life. You don't get to blame that on somebody else. You know, and I'm seeing that a lot. I'm seeing that a lot. And the funniest part is the people who claim to be on the left are the ones that seem to be closest to those, the closest thing to those who want to take away basic freedoms, who want to promote censorship, and who want to say you can't say this and you can't say that, and actually want laws to be made to enforce this. I mean, I don't see anybody on the right doing that, to be perfectly honest. And I'm telling you, I'm completely and totally on the fence. I have conservative views or certain traditional conservative views as far as like I think my views, my social views definitely lean towards the left. My economic views definitely lean towards the right. So I'm on the fence. I've decided I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to. And I'm not saying anybody shouldn't vote. Because it's a great thing that we have that power in our country as a member of society, as a citizen of this country. We have that power to be able to decide as a whole who we want to lead us. So that right should definitely be exercised. But my issue is that I don't see anybody that I mean, if I get to pick my leaders, then how come I have to pick amongst people that I none of them I would ever pick as a leader. So that's why I'm not voting. And that's why I don't really follow politics. I go, oh, that's all a big circus and a shit show. I don't really follow it. But yeah, look, Michelle, see, that pisses a lot of people off, and I don't blame you. Michelle's like, you need to vote though, man, all caps. Okay, but give me a candidate that isn't completely and totally full of shit. I don't believe in voting for the lesser of 2 to 6 evils. I don't. That's not me. Right, Star said. I agree with you. It's a near impossible choice. And they always suck, Penguin. Do you're right. The choices always fucking suck. You know, um, and here's the thing: is I loved Obama, man. I was a big Obama fan. Um, but it turned out well within his presidency where it was apparent to me that I just I fell for it. I fell for the magical Obama sugar that went into my ears. And I voted for Obama. I did. But uh, he went from he sat there in front of the whole country when he was campaigning and saying, everyone in this country will have health care. Everyone will have health care. Every American will have health care. And for some reason, all of us thought that meant free health care. I don't know why we all thought that, but we all thought it meant free health care. And then, well into his presidency, he develops Obamacare. Obamacare becomes a thing. And it turns out that I'm getting health care whether the fuck I like it or not. I'm getting money taken out of my paycheck at work whether the fuck I like it or not. I don't know about you, but I can't really afford to have any money taken out of my paycheck. I'd rather just take good care of myself and take my chances than pay insurance. It's if some of us, and I'm one of those people that cannot afford health care. I am one of those people who cannot afford health care. So I choose to take care of myself as best as I can. That's what I do. It's the only logical thing to do when you're a person with my income. But I don't. I just wish that maybe I'm just talking out of my ass here. Maybe I'm totally dreaming because this YouTube platform, I mean, I guess the part of what makes it great is that anybody can go on there and say whatever they want. I love that I can come on here and say exactly whatever the fuck I feel like saying. I'm a big fan of that. My freedom of speech is my favorite part of being an American. It is easily, hands down, my favorite part of being an American. If you had to say, what do you love about America? I'd be like free speech before you could even finish the sentence. I'd be like, free speech. I love that shit. I love it. But, I still feel like you have a moral obligation. You have a moral obligation to do something productive, somewhat productive with your channel, or a moral obligation to not do something destructive with your channel. Oh yeah, Michelle. Yeah, the medical field. It's all corrupt. Yeah. Doctors. He, uh, your doctor right now is an overpaid. He's an overpaid drug dealer. That's what your doctor is. Plain and simple. Your doctor gets to sell drugs with impunity, however he sees fit. There's that Hippocratical oath. Okay, that's nice. That keeps us shutting up. But I mean, the bottom line is big farm will give bonuses to doctors for pushing their product. They get sales bonuses for how much product they sell. So I always take medications with a grain of salt. I absolutely take medications with a grain of salt. You'll hear me up here, and I'll talk about depression and anxiety. I'm very open about the fact that I struggle very much with anxiety and depression. But I logic to me dictates that before all these wonder drugs, we still functioned as a society with people who struggle with anxiety and depression. But the problem is somehow along the way, we made it okay to say that you suffer from anxiety and depression, and that you need to take this medicine to level it out. This is the way to do it. This is the only way to do it. You need to see your doctor, and you need to do whatever your doctor tells you in order to deal with it. Now, I understand that there are people with much more severe depression than me. I get that. I get that. But it's rarely ever encouraged by doctors to say, hey, you know what? You don't need medication. You don't need medication. What you need to do is go for a nature walk. What you need to do is go for a run. And well, why would they do that? They're losing money that way. The answer to 99 out of 100 questions is money. You've heard me say that before, you'll hear me say it again. The answer to 99 out of 100 questions is always money. When it comes to motive in a crime, the answer to 99 out of 100 questions is money. It's just the way that is. And that's, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So, this is why I'm very, very big on taking responsibility for myself, taking accountability for my own actions, focusing on trying to make my personal environment better. That's why I'm very, very, very big on that. That's what this whole channel is based on. This whole channel is based on me kind of video blogging my experiences since I've decided to take this to take on this particular mindset and take on this attitude. And I'm telling you, I've never, there was something about medication that always bothered me, because I was always around really creative people, and that was a big struggle, because there was, I knew a couple people who struggled with depression, and then they would have to take some sort of, the new medicine. There's always a new breakthrough medicine for depression, but the side effects are always like suicidal thoughts. How the fuck is that even a thing? Isn't the whole point of fighting depression to avoid suicidal thoughts and to keep you from putting yourself in danger? Isn't that the whole point? So how is it that one of the side effects is suicidal thoughts? So that's just a red flag to me. I'm not doing that. So I have these friends, and then they take these medications, but what happens is they get turned into zombies. Yeah, they're leveled out and they're cool, and they don't have these crazy mood swings, but they end up that place in their heart and that place in their soul where their creativity would come from, that's void now. It's void. So yeah, they're able to function in a social situation a lot better. Sure, absolutely, but they've given up as an exchange for that. They've given up their ability to be creative. They've given up their passion. I don't want that. I can't do that. That's too important to me. My ability to feel passionate about something is way too important to me than taking, rather than the luxury of being able to take a magic pill that's going to allow me to function in a social situation better. And I'm not saying that there's a lot of people that are out there that just can't function at all, and the only thing that's going to help them is medication. They don't have the strength to be able to dig deep and say, okay, I need to start making these decisions. I need to start making a conscious effort to start doing things this way. A lot of people just don't have that luxury. They don't have that strength. So yeah, I sometimes. I'm not saying that I'm completely anti-medication, but I think that it's glorified to a certain degree to where we've been convinced as a society that it's much more necessary than it actually is. And I don't think it's as necessary as it's made out to be. I don't think any medication is as necessary as it's made out to be, other than a vaccine for other than a vaccine for a disease that is terminal. You know, if obviously a polio vaccine is absolutely necessary. Sure, you know, that's great. Smallpox, all that other stuff, sure. But here's the thing, man. You know, we don't have a cure for cancer yet. Why don't we have a cure for cancer yet? Because you know how much money is in the. Hold on one second. Yeah. Oh, is it steamed out?
It's not even on the burner.
Oh shit! I turned on the wrong burner. My bad, dude.
You want it on the burner?
Yes, please. Thanks. So I'm hard boiling eggs, guys, and my and my buddy is like, "Hey, you cooking nothing?" You know, and I turned on the wrong burner so my eggs weren't doing nothing. So he's gonna put them on the burner for me, which is great. But yeah, I don't think that I don't think that medication. I think that we've been conditioned as a society to rely on these medications, and when you look at someone like Mary Marlowe, who she says what she's in recovery for, quote unquote, which I don't buy for a second, but she says she's in recovery for opiates, and that's actually a genuine problem. We have people who get addicted to these opiates, and they get addicted to these opiates physically, but they also become dependent on them psychologically. Whoa, look at that, Sandy Jersey girl. I haven't seen you in forever. Good to see you. Yeah, we the bottom line is we gain a dependency on these pills and on these medications, and what that does is very, very dangerous, because what that does is it makes us it keeps us from taking any accountability for ourselves. It makes us dependent on someone else to solve our problems for us, whether it be a person or whether it be a pill. All of a sudden, we are dependent on something else taking the reins and controlling the direction for our improvement. And that's dangerous. That's horrible. Because nobody knows you but you. Nobody knows you but you. Period. And yes, pain. And here's another thing, man. Pain is another thing that's physical pain. It depends on what it is, but I mean, when I remember I broke my ankle, and they gave me painkillers, and they were fantastic. You know, they gave me painkillers, but again, I didn't have medical insurance when I broke my ankle. And the painkillers they gave me were fantastic until I ran out, and then they wouldn't refill them for me. So I was stuck for another, I don't know, 60 days, give or take, with just excruciating pain. So because I had no other choice, I had to just deal with my pain. What am I going to do? Die? No. I'm just gonna have to live with the fact that I'm in pain. It sucked, but I learned to. I because I was forced to. I learned to manage my pain. So I don't believe in being dependent on any of these things. I honestly do not believe in having a dependency on any of these things. That's why I don't even. There's like alcohol. I was never what you would consider an alcoholic. I was a drunk. You know, there is a difference. Um, but I was of the habit. I had developed a habit to where like I would get the liquor stores would be closed when I got off work, and I wouldn't get off work until like 2 in the morning. So the liquor stores would be off work, and my thing was I liked vodka cranberries and Monsters. That was my favorite drink. Um, but my ritual for being off of work was so I would stop at the liquor store before my job, and I would have a bottle of vodka in my bag, and then I would I would drink it when I got off work, and I would um, I my ritual was to get home and put on a movie. I love movies. And basically, I would drink for as long as the movie would last. So by the time that the movie was over, I I would fall asleep, But it was fair to say that I would pass out drunk, But I would always stay awake long enough for the movie, and then I would shut off the TV, do everything that I was supposed to do, and then I would go to bed and I would go to sleep. Um, but when I realized that this was bad for me, eventually it's going to catch up. It's going to catch up to your liver, and it's going to give you an ulcer. And I didn't want to go into my mid to late 40s having these kind of problems that most alcoholics have. So I decided cut that cut that dependency. And yes, Starset, you're right. Dependency is not addiction. It's not the same thing. But I definitely developed a dependency because I would go to sleep in this condition every single night. So it was weird to try to go. It was scary. It was hard to try to go to sleep without this help. And there was also the luxury of I would have nightmares, and there was the luxury of not having or at least not being able to remember my nightmares. Is to sleep so deeply that I didn't remember my nightmares. But so that was kind of hard. But the plus side to that was I would wake up refreshed and feel a lot better every day. And I would feel fantastic every day. I would feel fucking fantastic. I forgot what that was feel. I didn't. It got to a point to where I didn't realize I was waking up hungover every day because it's every day. You have nothing else to compare it to, but you're hungover every fucking day, and you feel like shit. And here I was just thinking I woke up in a bad mood every day. And a lot of that had to do with knowing that I had to go to work, and it was a job that I hated, and fuck, I gotta go do this shit and deal with this shit and deal with these fucking people and blah 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 blah. So but it's so easy. It's so easy for someone like Mary Marlowe to simply make a decision. And what's going to happen, mark my words, what's going to happen is she's going to hit bottom. She's going to hit bottom. But from what I'm gathering, she seems to have a functional relationship with her parents, but define functional though. You know what I'm saying? She seems to have a relationship with her parents where she loves her parents and her parents love her. But she also seems to be, based on this video that we watched at the beginning of this live, based on that video, she also seems to be the kind of person that is intimidating and aggressive. So it's very possible that her parents are very passive and just, okay, whatever gets her to not be yelling would be fantastic. Anything to get her to not hate us, because she's probably, well, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And her parents are probably like, fuck, we don't want our daughter hating us. And then you see that all the time. You see parents that just enable their kids. And here she is, well into her, God knows what age she is. I don't know how old she is. But she's definitely a grown-up. And she doesn't seem to have a job. Um, so so she's getting her income from something and somewhere, and she's not working for it. So I'm guessing that she is just completely and totally surrounded by enablers, and she's found a way to surround herself with enablers. So this behavior is just never going to change. And what's going to end up happening, sadly, what's going to end up happening is she's going to either end up in jail or dead from her behavior. And all because everyone around her decided to decided to allow themselves to be manipulated by her, and 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 now they enable her, they encourage her even. And when you encourage and enable somebody that is like this, then what's going to happen is yeah, Michelle, I agree. I got that impression from the very little that I know about Oni. I got the same impression. As long as these people, as long as you allow yourself to be manipulated by someone like this, you're enabling them and you're encouraging them towards a path of self-destruction. You're helping guide them through a path, guide them into a path of self-destruction. You're holding their hand as they do it, but nevertheless, they're on that same path, whether you're holding their hand or not. So you've got to ask yourself: Are you doing the right thing for them, or are you doing the right thing for you? That's hard, man. It's a hard thing to do because it's really hard when there's somebody in life that you really love, and you're just so scared of them feeling ill about you. So I mean, we got to be careful, guys. Be careful who we enable. Be careful, even though your intentions may come from a place of good and you're just somebody who just wants to love and care for somebody. Be careful of the results. Beware of the possible results that come from you loving that person unconditionally. So, yeah, man. I mean, I if you guys are up there and you're following Mary Marlowe, um and and you're in her chat and you're going, yes girl, go girl, you know you're enabling her. You're absolutely enabling her, and you're enabling her current behavior. But I'm gonna call it a day, guys, because I've actually got to get to the gym. I gotta actually cook my food properly, so that so that I actually cook it and I don't burn the house down. Um, so I've got to cook my food properly, and I'm gonna take that with me, and I'm gonna go work out, and then I'm going to work for the first time in 5 days or 6 days. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for logging on. I'm kind of digging this daytime crowd, so I might do these more once in a while. Um, but I'm really glad you guys logged on, and I really appreciate you guys listening and having a good time. Um, but we will talk soon, okay? Thanks a lot, guys. Love you. Take care.